Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Christmas Eve. I love to say that. Let's get us going with a nice balanced practice this morning. Everybody's, got a lot to do. So we're going to get centered and grounded before we begin. As you come to your mat and you're getting yourself snugly and comfortable. Take some deep cleansing breaths. Just notice where you are and what you brought in with you today. Remembering that this practice is something that we do daily to get us ready for the day. And it doesn't have to be a full hour like, we're going to be doing. It's maybe just, putting on the video if you have the content library, which if you're watching the video you have, and just doing as much as you can every day. This is why I'm showing up for you in this way, because I just want to impress upon you that taking care of yourself and putting yourself first daily is what we need to do for ourselves and how we serve the people that are in our life. It helps us just, be better people, I think, when we can fill our own love cup up around ourselves, make ourselves that first priority, right? Putting your own oxygen mask on. And just being better people for the world. There's this law of attraction that states whatever you put out in the world is what you give back to yourself. So when we're not prepared to put good energy out into the world, then we're not going to get good energy back. Like if you're, for example, if I'm crabby with my mom, she gets crabby right back with me. If she gets up and she's crabby, that puts me in that energetic space of being crabby back at her. And I have to, since her mind is not all there, I have to put myself in check and kind of change my role. And so coming to the mat and getting myself in a happy place where I've come to my breath, I've moved my body, it makes it easier for me to deal with her and be with her in a more open, loving space. So really connect with your breath. Let your breath be nourishing to you. Breathing in what you need a little bit more of, maybe patience, definitely energy, definitely vitality. Because it's also hard to function when we're not feeling well. And the not feeling well can be from just emotionally being not well or worrying or fearful, doubtful. And let's begin to speak into ourselves some healthy language, what we're seeking more of. May all be well in my mind and body today. Just a reminder that if some toxic energy is coming in thoughts or other people, that we put up a boundary to say, no, I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow that into my mind and body today. Let me be impeccable with my thoughts. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. All the energy that I'm allowing into myself today Let that be joyful. One of my favorite holiday songs is Joy to the World. Let heaven and nature sing. Let that be a part of what you bring in to yourself. That thought of heaven and nature singing and being in harmony together. Breathe in, breathe out. That being said, if you're feeling low on energy, always a good idea to get out in nature and experience that vibration. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and nourish. Breathe out and detox, eliminate. Let your yoga mat absorb what you're not needing today. Let any stress or tension that you're holding on to from the past be eliminated and not carried forward into now and into your future. May all be well. And just let those words kind of sink into you and over you. That feeling of heaven and nature singing together in harmony. And then as you feel ready, begin to move your fingers and toes and turn your head from side to side. And if you're not ready, continue to stay in this meditative state, harmonizing with your body, creating this connection. Bringing our mind and body into the state of tending and befriending. So we're really slowing everything down and creating this connection in order to be a little more vibrant today, move with a little more vigor. But first, we must fill it up. You know, it's like running on low fuel. The gas tank is empty. So we're filling ourselves up nice and slow in the slow mode. So we have more speed today. Something to remember and to relate to. I think Gandhi and Einstein, they both took time to rest. And I think it was Gandhi that said, when I have more to do, I meditate longer, I stay in stillness longer, and that helps me get done more, really satisfying more tasks by meditating longer. I think it's, about like, because there's no wasted time, you get clear and focused. If you've ever felt like you're spinning around and chasing your tail, we don't have to spin around and chase our tail. We're focused, laser focused. Begin to stretch the arms over the crown of the head and lengthen the body all the way out, reaching one arm longer than the other, one leg longer than the other, stretching, stretching, reaching like you're climbing. And feel your body begin to open up. This beautiful stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. I'm going to join you because Vanessa needs Vanessa. Oh my goodness, yes. Gosh, if this were the only thing that you did every morning, get that spine nice and long so our connection is open. This would be good. Walk the arms over to the right. Walk the legs over to the right. Is my kitty joining me today? Lily, Lily. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then let's bring it back to the center and over to the other side. It's like, hey, wait a minute. I want to get on the mat. She wants to get on the mat and nap. Breathe in, breathe out. Coming on back to the center. Let's just draw the right leg into the body and circle it around. Circle your ankle, wiggle your toes, maybe even circle your knee. So just take a combination of movements from drawing that knee across to the shoulder, giving it a hug, circling the ankle, wiggling the toes, circling the knee, bending and straightening. Feel your way through this, just doing a combination of what might feel good to you, doing some exploration. This always brings my mind back to one of my favorite quotes that I've been saying a lot lately is that yoga is the opportunity to be curious. So be curious here. Be curious about who you are and how you feel and what's going on in this body of yours. It's encompassing this body in your mind. And then let's stretch it all the way up and lower it all the way down. Stretch the arms over the crown of the head and lengthen again. Point and flex the feet. And as you're focusing on your breath, we're taking our mind away from our worries and our hurries and just being present right now where everything is cool. Bring the left leg in and let's explore over here. Feels amazing. Circle the ankle, wiggle the toes. We're lubricating the joints. That may be one of our goals as well, right? To be pain-free. How do I accomplish that? How do I accomplish this pain-free? By keeping everything lubricated and moving. And it doesn't have to be hard or too complicated. Oh, that feels good. Give yourself a nice juicy hug. And then lower all that down. Stretch the arms over the crown of the head. Wiggle the toes. Massage the hips. And then let's bring the right leg back in and rehearse a spinal twist. Open it up to the right. Bring it across to the left. And start using your arms as well. So that left arm is going to go out to the side while the knee goes to the right. Help the leg over. Stretch that right arm out to the side as the leg goes over to the left. These energy lines called meridians, big major one through the arm. So we want to start to get that open, start to cultivate some of that energy. Breathe in, breathe out. And go ahead and take the spinal twist if you feel like it. You can support your left arm on the top of your left thigh or underneath. And reach and stretch that arm out. Exhale, wringing things out, massaging those internal organs. And breathe. And here's a thought too, if you're ever tired or sluggish, Try to drink a little more water, get a little more flow in the body. See if that helps you become less stagnant. And then stretch that leg all the way out on the floor and bring the left leg in for some spinal twisting over here and opening up that hip. So again, we're just rehearsing it first. Inner thigh, outer thigh, arms. Explore and really deepen your breathing here. We have a breath called victorious breath or Ujjayi breath. That sounds like fogging up a glass. Really throaty and breathy. Very warming to the body when you breathe in and out through the nose, keeping the lips closed. You'll feel that on the back of the throat. And then if you like, go ahead and take it over to the right and stretch your right arm out and breathe in and out here. You might be supporting the toe over here, or you could even hook the toe on the back of your thigh. And breathe and notice. Breathe and notice. Coming on back to the center and stretching that leg all the way out. One more time, stretch the arms over the crown of the head and lengthen. Circle your ankles, wiggle your toes. Rock those hips from side to side. Draw the knees into the belly and let's give ourselves a big, beautiful hug. Lengthening the low back. Hold around the shins or behind the thighs. Bring your forehead up. As you lower your upper body, try to get really long through the neck, keeping the back of the head on your mat and just drawing the chin into your chest. Let this be emotional for you. Share a little self-love here. I'm showing up for myself today. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Holding onto your knees. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, push away. Let's get a little lubricated through our elbows, using our elbows to bring the legs in and out. Following your breath. Massaging the low belly. Now you could always use a towel or a strap if it's not comfortable to hold on with your hands. You put that towel or strap behind the knees and get that movement here. And then how about some circling? Let's circle the hips. Big giant circles. Big giant circles in both directions. And if you like happy baby pose, here it is. We're going to bring the legs a little wider. You can hold on again from the back of the thighs, kind of kicking your legs up here, bending and straightening from your knees. Another option is to bring the elbows on the insides of the knees, grabbing the big toes or the lower legs. So you're drawing your knees and your thighs more parallel to the floor, while the lower leg is kind of perpendicular and the feet are pressing up towards the ceiling. So we're pulling down, but also pushing up. Massage that lower back. You can be playful and joyful here with the legs. And draw those legs back together. Let's roll over onto our sides. And use your hands to push yourself up, finding your way. Let's find our way to a hands and knees position. and move the spine in cat and cow pose. So before we go there, let's just gently go from side to side, taking a little twisting movement, feeling the hands and the wrists and the shoulders and the hips, and a little stretch through the tops of the feet. A little stretch through the tops of the feet. So I want to tell you that I've been experiencing for a little while now some leg cramps when I'm sleeping. So I think I found the cure. Um, I always start my day with the lemon water with ginger and a little sea salt and some honey. So I've been doing that at night as well before I go to bed. That same concoction. Sometimes I don't always add the honey. Um, and that's been helping. Draw chin to chest, exhale, take your cat's pose, draw your tailbone under. And also taking a magnesium. And the magnesium citrate is recommended because it's a little easier on your stomach. I guess sometimes magnesium can have the tendency to make your bowel movements looser. I don't need that. I don't need that one. So that's what's recommended to be a little easier. So I take one of those before I go to bed too with my water. And I mention that because a lot of people have trouble stretching their feet out this way, like their feet start to cramp. And so, if that happens with you, maybe you could try that and see if that helps you. Let's come into neutral and go into spinal balance. Right fingertips extending forward and left heel back. Now stretch that calf first. Curl those toes under and press that heel back. And then bring the limbs to parallel when you're ready. Right arm extending out, left leg extending back, eyes looking down towards your left thumb. Breathe in and out. Pull the belly button in. Notice if you're wobbly, you can always bring a toe down or a fingertip down. And then switch sides when you're ready. Now, if it feels super easy, let's take that stretch first. And you might try to lift up your left toes while you take the balance here. Wobbly is not bad. So if it feels too easy, do something to challenge it. And switch sides again. And this time we're going to add a little core work in, and this is going to be really good for your brain. Bringing your opposite elbow to your opposite knee across the midline of your body, exhale. So left knee to right elbow. Exhale to draw it in, inhale to extend. We'll do 3 on each side before we switch. Really following that breath makes this a moving meditation. Inhale to extend, exhale to come across. Anytime you move across the midline of the body, that's good for the brain. It takes a little coordination and focus. Right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain making a connection right now. So good for our memory. And let's switch sides. I'll do one more time on each side. And then when you get finished, just press back into child's pose and take a break. The pause is really instrumental in letting yourself connect. It's, as they say, stop and smell the roses. That's what the pause is for. So the big toes are together, the knees are out wide. Your arms can drape along the sides of your body if that feels comfortable, or extended child's pose with your arms over the crown of the head. Just letting yourself breathe and feel here, noticing all your sensations. I want to give you a couple options here. We're going to find our way to our feet, but I'd like us to try to find our way to our feet by doing a little yoga flow. But if that's not in your practice, just find your way whenever you're ready to your feet. So to flow here, we'll come forward into a modified plank. Kitty, oh, crabby butt. Get out of here. Bring yourself forward. Just let me just clean myself right here in front of everybody. Hands under the shoulders, coming forward into this modified plank. Oh my goodness. With that hiss that you did, you need a little yoga to be not so crabby. Bring the belly button in. If you want to challenge your plank, you can curl the toes under, lift the knees and thighs. Even if you only just stay up here for a moment. And then when you're ready, lower down. I'm going to lower to my knees and lower down. Exhale, hug those elbows tight. When you get to the bottom, take a little cobra pose here, lifting the heart, firming the thighs. And then find your way into that downward facing dog, curling the toes under, pressing back to the knees, and then lifting the hips. And that's a way that I like to get into down dog sometimes, a nice modification, just slowly moving into downward facing dog. If this doesn't feel good in your body, it could be child's pose, or again, you may already be standing on your feet. Bend your knees right and left. I love to make the yoga accessible. A lot of people, I will hear them say, oh, well, I can't do that, and I can't do that, and I can't do that. So when we take the can't out and we just try to find a way that works for where we are, showing up, coming as you are, and just doing what you can do today, it works out. From your downward facing dog, find your way to your feet, and everyone come into this forward fold. So you may be supporting your arms on your thighs and just letting your head dangle here, or you may be grabbing your elbows and coming down a little bit farther. Pull your belly button in, bend the knees a little bit more. You could always support your arms on a chair out in front. And if it doesn't feel good for your head to be all the way down, then engage the neck a little bit so you're looking down to the floor rather than looking back behind your knees. And I want you to just take your time now and slowly roll up. Coming all the way to the top. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders back. Shoulders back and around, back and around. We're going to start with our neck and then we're going to move into our spine. Let's do a little qigong from here. So taking your head from side to side, we'll start here with the head and neck, bringing your ear over to your shoulder. Now we're going to move through the arms as we do this. So I want you to hold your right ear over to your right shoulder. The left wrist will be flexed, pushing down. So this is really opening up here. And the right side, the wrist will be curling under. So you make a little fist and just curl the wrist. Open up that neck. And let's do the other side. Curl and flex. As I mentioned earlier, we have this big meridian line through our arms that connects to our heart and our lungs. So getting active in your arms is going to open up that energy line. How important is heart and lungs for communicating with the body? If those two guys aren't working right, then we don't have energy flowing through our body. I'll do one more each side. We'll finish with our head to the left. And then notice your chin is up towards your right shoulder. So let's make a circle with it right there. And kind of massage the neck and the shoulders, your traps, both directions. Draw the chin back to the chest and over to the left shoulder. And draw some circles here. Got some crinkling going on. Sounds like I'm crinkling wrapping paper. All right, bring your chin to your chest and just make a smiley face right on your shirt. Make a big circle out in front, like you've got a pencil on the tip of your nose. And in both directions. Open and close your mouth and pop your ears a little bit. All right, now as you bring your head to the center, we're going to do what's called wise owl looks over his shoulder. And so the arms will open up, palms to the front, and then the palms were turned back the other way. So let's just do that. Open the chest, inhale. Exhale, palms turn the other way. And we'll add the head. So you'll open and look over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, head comes back to center, arms flip around. Other side. Inhale and exhale. So this opening up of the meridians of the arms, so important. Heart, lungs, neck. So doable. Finish on your left side. And as you come back to the center, relax your shoulders, gently rolling them around in both directions. Our next movement is called spinal breathing. We'll bring the arms to a semi-cactus arm position. So the elbows are pointing down so that your shoulders are still relaxed. And just a gentle fist. Your knees are soft here. And as you exhale, you'll bring your forearms together, rounding your spine like the letter C. So the tailbone is curling under and you're bending your knees and tucking your chin to your chest. Exhaling here, inhale to open up. Bringing the shoulder blades together. And again, the shoulders and the elbows are down. Exhale forward, bend the knees, tuck the chin. Inhale, open. Now you're not really bending forward from the waist, you're rounding. Inhale to open. Exhale to curl. Making that letter C in your spine. So this moves the spinal fluid from the brain to the tailbone and back up again. Getting flow through the spine. And with this, we're going to add a little twist. You'll exhale to the front and inhale to the right, looking over that right shoulder. Twist. Exhale to the front. Inhale over to the left. Exhale. Twisting the spine. I'm feeling a little rotation from my hips and knees and ankles. So feel and notice what you feel and notice. Gently moving this energy through the body. We'll take one more time on each side. And as you come back to the center, just roll yourself up, relax your arms, open your heart, take a moment to notice. And see if you can feel the flow of energy down the spine. Now let's take some gentle shaking. Shaking out the hands, moving that up to the elbows. You can circle your wrists, up into the shoulders, head and neck. I don't know what it is about that, but as soon as I get to my head, I want to take a little bounce. Bounce into the knees, maybe even bounce up and down on your heels a little bit, warming up the feet. Get everything shaky bouncing. Let's move this energy around. And then when you're ready, start to shake out the legs, circle the ankle, shake out the hip. If you need to, you can support yourself on the wall or a chair nearby, or challenge your balance. Switching sides. This shakiness gets everything circulating. Play with it. Shake it up, shake it down, turn it all around. And then come on down nice and slow. Take a moment to pause again and see if you can feel some sensation or tingling. My fingers are very tingly. Now, keeping these feet where they are, just about hip distance apart, let's start to knock on the gate of life with our arms. And so the arms are going to audibly slap on the body in front and in back, tapping on your kidneys. We got to get good flow in the kidneys, right? Now, I want you to also notice this is the beginning of, also some spine warming. But again, I feel it in my feet. Got some twisting a little bit in the ankles and in the knees. And we want these meridians really waking up. So that's why you're having this slapping motion to actually tap on the body. And if you want to, start to take it a little bit bigger now by taking the legs a little bit wider apart and coming up on the toe. Have some fun with it. Your forward arm is going to come up to slap right above your collarbone. Back arm is still tapping the kidneys. And maybe even reach it around and give yourself a pat on the back. Cough it up. Dislodge whatever is stuck. Awesome. And then you're going to start to just come out just like you went in, slowly taking away movement, slowly bringing the feet back together. Let's gather up some of that energy that we stirred up. So this kind of reminds me, this gathering up of energy, it's like if you've ever had a sunny day where the sun was coming in through your window and you saw these particles, this dust flying around. Just imagine that all of that stuff is this energy and that your arms are like fly paper, and we're going to collect it and bring it into ourselves. So we'll inhale, scooping up some energy, feel the sensations in your hands. And then the hands will pass down the middle of the body. It's like Star Wars, just sharing this force with your brain, with your heart and lungs, and into your body. This lower dantian below the belly button is your reservoir, like your battery pack. Let's do that a couple more times. So it's like you're drawing it in and filling yourself all the way. We're putting it in. And you may even share a blessing with yourself as you pass down your body. Now, on my third pass, I'm going to bring my hands to that lower belly, this lower dantian. In yoga, we really talk about 7 energy centers. In Qigong, we talk about 3, the brain, the heart, and the gut. A lot of energy here in this lower belly where digestion and reproduction is happening. So let's feed into that and charge up that battery. Feel beneath your hands. I've got my right hand first onto my belly, so I'm going to feel beneath my right hand and feel beneath your left hand. Noticing that connection and that plug in. And release it. We're going to continue to warm up the hips and the knees. Bring your hands to your hips and just start to swivel and stir about like that hula dancer on your dashboard. Give it some swiveling. It can be little, it can be big. You might take a bigger forward fold, going around one way. Take your back bend only as big as it feels comfortable. Hips, knees, ankles. Keeping the joints lubricated, but notice we're not, really overdoing. So a lot of people have had to have, hip replacements and knee replacements because the cartilage is worn out. That may be just years of overuse when they were younger with whatever activities they were doing. So when we move about this way, we're helping to keep that lubrication going. I still have all my original parts and I would like to keep it that way. All right, now we're going to, if the feet are wider, bring them a little closer together. We're going to slide the hands down to the knees and circle around with the knees. This reminds me of the Charleston, right? Doot, 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 doot. Circle around. Notice the feet, notice the ankles. Your knees weren't necessarily made to go in a circle. They were for flexing and extending the lower leg, right? But they do have these tendons and ligaments there that hold them in place. And and we can keep those things lubricated and supple, then maybe we won't tear them. That would be nice. So circle that around. And then while we're here, let's go ahead and fold forward. Grab the elbows. Let yourself dangle again like we did earlier. You can rest your hands on your thighs. Let your head go. Maybe bend the knees right and left, getting into those hamstrings a little bit more. Shake your head out, yes and no. Just let yourself drape here. Try to even relax through the upper back and the shoulders, getting some good energy and blood flow to your brain. You might even wrap your arms around the backs of your legs and give yourself a nice, juicy hug. All is well in my mind and body today. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. And start to roll it up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way up to the top, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky, and let's take a standing camel pose, bringing the knuckles to the small of the back, firming the thighs, and pressing those hips forward, opening up through the heart. And then bring it on back to the center and settle yourself right here. Breathe in and out. We're going to get into the lower body. So we're going to take a horse stance. So to get into our horse stance, we're going to take the legs out nice and wide. This little kick out move. You can turn to be on your mat horizontally. And then just bend and straighten. And the horse stance can be up high, in the middle, down a little bit lower. So just play with that and see where you need to be. Coiling cobra pose. We'll get in that horse stance in a place that feels comfortable. The hands are supporting on your thighs. Draw your right shoulder down and look over your left shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Left shoulder drops down. Look over the right shoulder. Exhale. Oh, this feels amazing. Inhale back to the center and exhale. Take that coiling twist through the spine. Again, getting deeper down. I love how this feels in the inner thigh. Getting that open a bit. Breathe and just a couple more. We're going to finish on our left side. And then come back up. Find a way to step the legs back together and settle. Now this is called sifting. The fingertips are lightly apart. The arms are relaxed. You're really just moving from the elbows and your wrists. And it's a nice way to regulate the blood pressure. So I'm only moving from my lower arm. Think effortless. Think effortless. Sifting. And then pause. You can pause with the hands on the lower belly to charge yourself up. And we're going to do one more standing Qigong movement before we get down onto our mat to do a little floor yoga. Let's open up the legs again. Taking a little bit of a horse stance here. And this is a version of separating heaven and earth. We're going to bring the hands together, make a little fire, create some energy, and we're going to build what's called a chi ball. So as you rub them together, you may start to feel that vibration and sensation in the hands. And so we're going to play with it. We're going to play with it a little bit, kind of like playing with, I don't know, slime. Think of it also even kind of like pulling taffy, where you can feel like you're actually pulling something apart or creating this ball. Like if you had a real ball in your hands and you were just rubbing around it with your hands. It can be little, can start to get bigger. And so you want to notice here that your hands are also facing in towards each other. And so to start to move into separating heaven and earth, let's start with the right hand on top and the left hand on the bottom. And so we're going to start to separate, like you're pulling the taffy. And then when your right hand gets about to your chest, you're going to flip the hands around so that your right hand is facing up towards the ceiling and the left hand is pushing down towards the earth. And then push that apart, separating heaven and earth. Now your top arm is going to reach out in front as far as you can, bend down into that horse stance. So it's like you're scooping up out in front of you. And then the right hand will be underneath and the left hand now is on top. And as you come back to the center, just play with the energy there. Left hand on top, right hand on the bottom. So that just kind of happened with our scooping motion. And then start to separate. And as you start to pull that apart, when your left hand gets to your heart, flip the hands around. So the right hand is pressing down and the left hand is pressing up. And when you've reached as far as you can go, then bend your knees and reach out in front of you and scoop it up. And now again, the right hand is on the top and the left hand is on the bottom. Let me show you from the side and let's play with it. And when you're ready, separate and flip the hands and bend and reach out in front, scoop it up, and then put it together. Pull it apart and reach and scoop and bring it in. Now let your breath be comfortable. Like what makes sense for your breath? To pull apart and inhale and stretch and exhale to bring it in. So whatever feels comfortable, and it can be in 2 breaths or more than 2 breaths. Whatever feels natural. And let's do one more time on each side. So do one on the right and one on the left. You can go as fast or as slow as you like. And move the legs back together gently. making this energy ball. And then bring the hands back together for a rub. And our standing meditation will be chi, rinsing, or washing. So get some good energy here. And then just start to wash the face, your head, your neck. When you start to get down to your arms, flip it off, fling it off. Get rid of it. Your body, your hips, your back. Bend down, get your legs. Rinsing off what we don't need, washing off what we don't need. And then when you're ready, come to center and just pause and notice. You may still be able to feel the brushing. And now let's take our time to come down to our back. We'll come back and we'll do some hip, a little more hip opening. Get down as you can. You could also do these from a chair if you prefer. Let's cross the right ankle over the left into our figure 4 pose. And gently first take a rock from side to side. It feels really good. And then hold this figure 4 stretch. You may even wag the knee in and out like you're opening and closing a door. Bring the leg up and hold. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears and breathe. And breathe. Another option is to hold on to that right ankle and extend the left leg all the way out on the floor. And breathe. Extend that right leg all the way out on the floor. Stretch the arms over the crown of the head, lengthen. And let's walk the legs back in and cross the the left over the right. And gently wag from side to side. Holding in the center. Figure 4 pose. You could just keep the foot down and wag in and out, opening and closing the door. Not every pose is for everybody. So if you ever feel like you're forcing something, acknowledge that and take away the force. Nothing ever good comes out of forcing ourselves to do something. Saying yes when you really mean no. And your body really will tell you if you're open to listening. Hold on to your left ankle, extend the right leg out on the floor. Breathe here. Release that left leg on the floor. And we're going to bend your knees and bring the feet a little wider, arms out to the side. We're going to let the knees just fall over to the right for a spinal twist. Gets into the hips a little bit as well. If you like, you could take that top left leg and place it on top of the right, coming more into a spinal twist. And bring that over to the other side whenever you're ready. I'm going to start with my feet wide and let my legs fall over. And bring that right leg on top of the left, looking over the right shoulder. And as you feel like you're ready, find your way into your final resting pose. Full Shavasana with the legs out. Maybe you've got a towel or a bolster rolled up under the knees for a little comfort on your low back. Maybe you'd like to conclude with the feet wide and the knees and inner thighs together. That feels better on your low back. Maybe you'd like to prop the head up a little bit with a low pillow. Breathe in, breathe out. All we have to do is breathe. Everything else is optional. Finding a way to move that breath through the body to energize and create vitality with all of our organs. Try to let yourself just be without thinking or doing. Try to give yourself permission to stay here for at least 1 minute. And when we're working on stillness, sometimes it's one moment at a time, one breath at a time. Now, as you feel ready, begin to awaken, wiggling fingers and toes. And take your time to roll from your back to your side, and from your side to eventually come into your seat. Get grounded by feeling your body in place, your feet connected to the earth, your legs, your hips connected to your mat, the spine over the hips, the shoulders, the crown of the head. And you may begin with your hands on top of your knees, palms down, especially in the process of getting grounded and connected. Breathe in and out and find your center with your breath. Just feeling your lungs. And turn your knuckles down, and let's bring our thumb together with our pinky finger and our ring finger so that our hands are making this peace sign. And with our index finger and our middle finger extended here, this is a hand mudra called prana mudra. Remember, prana is life force energy. Prana is breath. So connecting with this hand mudra, we're asking to draw more of that in. Drawing more of that into yourself. And you may, as an offering to the world, extend your arms up and give some energy out. As you draw the hands back together, bring them to your heart. Take a moment for blessings and gratitude on this Merry Christmas Eve. The light within me honors and bows to the light within you. Namaste.